Hi fellow traders, I hope everybody's had a great weekend. It's time for me to share with you my weekly Suretrader account update. Go through the ups and downs of the week. We've had some pretty big swings, but that's what this community is all about. You know, the Average Joe Trading community is about showing and depicting the real life of a day trader. You know, someone who does it for a living, and some of the ups and downs and the challenges that we face every day. And it's not once you become profitable and you're comfortable in what you're doing that you don't run into snags, you don't run into roadblocks. It's gonna happen. It's just that the longer you trade, the more infrequent they become. And when they come, you have to have a process in place in order to deal with it, or else it'll sink you. You'll continue to dig a hole and you'll continue to go backwards. And that's not, what we want to do as day traders. We want to continue to go forward, continue to grow. And for me, every setback is a chance for a comeback. And you guys that are with me in the community, and especially the ones who are the yearly members, when you get the next couple of weeks, when we do our weekly education webinars, you're going to get to see the exact process. You're going to be able to share in this process with me of, how I work my way out of slumps. This isn't the first time I've been in one since I've started, and I've been a full-time day trader. This is like the second significant one that I've had to deal with. And it's not that we changed it. A lot of stuff has changed in my environment in the last 3 years, with the start of this community, and with me helping a lot of other traders. But the market has changed too. And if we're not tuned in and we're not able to adjust our strategies to the market, then we're going to have challenges. So each challenge is a chance for us to get better, to learn, and to help us be a lot stronger. So that's what we're going to be talking about for the next couple weeks in the community. So you guys will be getting, that's joined us, you will be getting the full deal. I mean, that's why I did this, to really show you the truth, to show you what's real and what's not. And, I hope and I trust that that's what I'm doing here. I just want to remind you guys, we had a morning show every morning where I'm building my watch list. If I'm inspired to share a message that morning, I'll share it. And you could come on YouTube. But I don't interact with YouTube. I'm just streaming it. If you want to ask questions or make comments, the best place to go is go to averagejoetrader.com and click on the button that looks like this. And it'll bring you right into the chat room where I'm doing my morning show. And you're seeing the exact same screen share that my regular chat room members are seeing. They're seeing me go through my morning routine the same way you doing it. And on Wednesdays, we have Sneak Peek Wednesday. And you just come. This is kind of our version of free chat day, where you could come and spend the morning and get a feel for, what we do in the chat room. All right, now one of the exciting things that happened this weekend, we have a hometown guy, Jordan Anderson, and he is an aspiring young driver in NASCAR, and he is the epitome of hard work and dedication. I remember him. He lives, he grew up less than 10 minutes from where I live. He was in school with my sister, in the same class. So, when he started racing when he was 8 or 9, I mean, we knew who he was. We knew what he was doing. And he's progressed. And, he's working hard. He's not one of those racers that was born with a silver spoon in his mouth or born into a racing family. He's done this on his own. This is his dream. And so we were able to, sponsor him. We did it last year. And this year, I was able to do it. You could see, we've got our Average Joe Trading logo, right here on the back of the truck. Got my name on the back. And this is very exciting. This truck ran the whole race in Kansas. Everybody got to see it. It, was on TV. And it's pretty cool. But I feel that I connect with Jordan because, we both started where we were with what we had. And we're fighting, trying to make it. The odds may be stacked against us, but that's not what we're focusing on. We're focusing on our dreams, our goals, our aspirations. And just as with me, for him, every setback is a chance for a comeback. And this truck was destroyed in Atlanta, and he needed help to rebuild it. And that's where all of us stepped in. He took his time and he wrote all of these guys' names who helped donate, whatever they could to help build his truck to get him back on track. So that's why we have up here Fueled by Fans. So if you want to check him out, sponsorjordan.com. He is, one guy who, he has incredible faith, incredible belief, and an incredible work ethic. And so, I encourage you to kind of read in his story and to look him up and, get to know who he is, get to know his struggles, because it's only going to inspire you and help you as you go forward. Now, I pulled this from his website, and this really encompasses what we need to live by, especially as traders, because of everything that we go through. It says, for a climber aspiring to reach the top of Mount Everest, walking out his front door and standing on the highest peak doesn't have the same reward as overcoming every obstacle that lies between the bottom and the top. Oftentimes, in running the race of life, we get so caught up in the sole objective of reaching our goals that we forget to enjoy the journey and the challenges that lie between points A and B. A positive perspective is key. Just like a heartbeat, our life is meant to have ups and downs that test us in finding our inner selves and what it is we really want out of this life that we've been blessed with. The best weapon we have in facing our daily battles is the focused mentality to never give up. And in trading, that's kind of, what we have to do. The challenges that we face from the time we start to the time we get to where we want to be, those are the things that help develop us, they help us grow. And that it helps us find out who we are as a trader and where we need to go. And that's what this is all about. And that's what the journey has been about for me. And I want you guys to see that. That's the real life of a day trader. And this is what every, person that aspires to be a day trader should get out of this journey. Alright, so let's get into some numbers here. Here's my weekly stats from the week before last. the first week of May. I know I had like 560 something. I know it was in the 500s, I believe, in what I had shared last week. But what it was, the swing trades that I had, the ones on AAOI, hadn't come through yet. And if they haven't come through, I'm not going to anticipate what the profit was or the loss in whatever case. So once they came in on Monday, this is what the week looked like. And what this does is the swing trades are masking the issues that I'm having with the day trades. And that's not the way to do this. You know, I shouldn't mask a problem that I'm having with something else. Because what that does is it doesn't help me the next time I have to deal with this. So, you know, I jumped the gun here. I don't want to deal with and introduce swing trades to the community until June, because typically in June is when the slowdown happens. We're through earnings and we have that lull in the summertime between the end of this earnings season and the beginning of the next earnings season. And that's when I want to bring in swing trades, because typically the day trades will slow down. The problem is I'm, number one, choosing the wrong stocks off my watch list, and number two, I'm failing to execute. And those are two things that have to be dealt with, you know, before I move forward. But you see the percent profitability is right where I want it, you know, overall. But, you know, here, these two numbers are too close together. So let's look at this week, this past week, 339.95. Now, when the swing trade hits that I closed out Friday, when it uploads, probably on Monday, this week's going to turn red. But my percent profitability is going to be close. The problem is, you know, had this swing trade worked out, it would have masked the problem again. And that's just me not dealing with it. And see, here's the issue. Average losing trade 162.37, average winning trade 104. This should be half of this, not $50-some more. So there's a problem. You know, there's a serious issue. I'm 68% right, but what's happening, I'm letting my losers run, and they're burning me up. So, you know, and this is an execution problem. So just to give you an idea, this is what happened Friday, and this is when I shut it down. This is TTD. Actually, this arrow is in the wrong spot here. That's what I need to fix, this arrow, just to make it right. 48.11 or 48.12 is where I got out of this. 48.12. Just to give you an idea, I got in here. Okay, this candle was red. Okay, this candle was red. I went and looked at it again in a market replay simulator this weekend, and you know, Thinkorswim doesn't update. It takes a couple days, but I watched it in Trading Sim, and you know, when this candle opened, it opened red. It was selling off, so I anticipated it. There are two ways I teach to enter. One way is as soon as we break the low of the first 5-minute range, you enter. The other one, and the one that I like to use, is I wait for a 5-minute candle to close below the opening range high, or at a minimum wait for a 2-minute candle to close below the opening range high and then enter. I didn't do any here. I anticipated it. I rushed in, and you know, within the first 15 minutes of the day, I was done. You know, I got stopped out. I got blown up. You know, this is the $391 loss. And that was it. You know, my day was done. But this was a failure to execute. You know, this was a decent stop. And you see it made a run up all day. But, you know, this should have been an opening range breakout, not breakdown. I jumped in too early. I didn't let the stock settle. And that's why sometimes it's good waiting the 15 minutes. You know, but you let the stock settle and then you get in. I've been jumping in. Now sometimes this works out. And I can get a quick cover for half the position and then it goes the opposite way. At least I've locked in some profit. And then I can take it the right way. But the stocks on my watch list, you know, most of them are working. They're giving solid moves. People in the room are trading them. But I'm tending to pick the one that has the worst possible move. And, you know, it's a failure to execute on my part. So trying to mask it and hide it with swing trading doesn't work. And it may work for a while, but that doesn't help me. So my focus going forward is going to be on dealing with this issue. So how am I going to deal with it? Number one, stop trading. And that's what I did Friday. I'm going to look at my trading plan and compare it to my trading. Okay, I'm going to address the issues as to what's causing the problem and make any necessary trading plan changes. And as I said earlier, you know, in the intro, those of you that are going to be with me every Wednesday for the education webinars, you're going to see me go through this process, you know, unadulterated, unscripted, unchanged. You know, it's going to be right there in its ugliest form. Trade in the market replay simulator for a few nights. That's what I've been doing this weekend. Keep position sizes smaller for the first few live days. That's what I'm going to be doing next week. I took $2,000 out of this because I know 700 is coming out when the swing trade hits. So I took $2,000 out to make sure that I don't trade with any more than 5,000 for the first week or two. Because if I had more, I'll probably trade more. You know, I know me. That's why you need to get to know you and what your limitations are. And then you plan and make decisions based on your limitations. The goal is going to be to build confidence and implement the corrected plan. And then slowly increase my position size back to my normal amount once I get this execution problem solved. Here again, this is almost 1-to-1. This is the monthly stat. This is nowhere near where it needs to be. And what's masking the problem? Swing trades. That's what's masking the problems. Because I've got right where I want to be with my percent profitability. With 1-to-1, it shouldn't be this good. So, gonna stop masking this and focus on what I need to and what I should be focusing on, you know, throughout the week. Now, some of you asked me what I was looking for on AAOI, and I'm going to show you that real quick. I won't be swinging this out of Suretrader anymore. You know, I will swing this in my Speed Trader account, but I'm not tying it in, you know, not trying to make that account grow by doing something other than what I'm supposed to be doing. Here's what I was looking at. I was expecting it to reject here at 65. I thought we were going to go in the right direction this day, so I was still holding on to it. But then we opened here. We started to sell off, and I felt pretty good. But then it quickly got bought up, ran all the way up to 67. But we closed, well above 65. So, we're going to keep pushing up. Just have to wait until it gives me a clear signal that we're rolling over. Because I think we are going to come back at some point. I think we're going to come back sharply. But I was just a little bit early, anticipating this, and ended up getting burned. So that's what I was looking at on AAOI. And you see we're steadily losing volume. This is going to run out of steam, and it is going to pull back. You just have to be able to time it right. Alright, so that's my week. These are the things that I'm going to be looking at and working on this week. So if you're in the room, you're going to hear me talking about it, and you're going to see me, implementing these corrective actions in my trading. And like I said earlier, it's very important that you see this now. It's very important that you understand that trading is not a dog and pony show. It's not all about, once you learn how to do it, you're not going to have any problems and you're going to just bank money like that. It doesn't work that way. Okay, the real live, unscripted, unadulterated trading doesn't work that way. And I'm showing you exactly what it takes and what you're going to be going through when you get started. Like I said before, these bumps you run into in the road are going to be fewer and further between as you get more experience. But they're going to come back. They're going to get you. You just have to know and have a plan like this to correct it when it does. If not, you're going to fade into the sunset, never to be heard from again. So that's going to be my focus going into this week. And always, if you have any questions, comments, or anything, please leave them. This is my social media. You can contact me here. I'm always willing to answer a question or help anybody that I can. So take care, guys. Have a great week, and I will see you tomorrow morning.